Welcome to 99% Pickleball, a podcast by Empower Pickleball. We're your hosts, Nikki Maldonado.
And Mari Humberg. We're back for another week. Another fun episode, Nikki.
Man, Mari, we've been doing things. We have been moving and grooving. What a crazy couple of weeks, yeah?
Yeah. What have you been up to? I've only seen pictures. You disappeared off the face of the planet for a week there, which I'm proud of you for.
Thank you. I ventured out west. I went to Napa Valley. I don't know if you've heard of that area, that region. It's a nice little wine region in California, if you're not familiar. I think everybody's familiar. But yeah, it was so much fun. It was supposed to be for my partner's vacation, for her birthday. It was a vacation for my partner's birthday. No work, very little social media if possible. And I had to play pickleball. Of course I had to play pickleball.
Of course.
So but listen to this. California blows my mind. Almost entirely outdoors, right? Which is wild. These people do not play indoor pickleball in California. I don't understand it. And luckily, I found a place, a pickler, actually, that was 20 minutes from my hotel. And I had never been to a pickler before. And so I go there, and it turns out it's their grand opening. Not just anywhere. They're opening a brand new facility. I just happened to be there at the right time. And it was great. Now, it was a beautiful facility. Fairfield, shout out to Pickler in Fairfield, California. It was a beautiful facility. The team there was amazing, all of that. But I'm just like, what is the deal with California and outdoor pickleball? Yeah, the weather is beautiful, sure. But also wind, and it gets so hot out there. I would have passed out. I would have died playing outside. But yeah, I don't know. What do you think?
Well, I'm glad you found indoor pickleball, and sounds like you enjoyed a nice vacation. Happy birthday to Michelle. Obviously,
Thank you.
That's good.
That's nice.
Did you stay away a little bit from social media?
I did a pretty good job. She congratulated me yesterday. She said I did a pretty good job. That was nice. I was really
You got a
trying.
pat on the back?
I got a good pat on the back, on the head. And she's like,
Nice.
yeah.
There
So
you
I
go.
think I did pretty good. I got to say, Napa Valley is definitely much better than Paris at this time of the year. The weather was so nice, so beautiful. I am sad that I didn't get to play pickleball in Paris. That was something I was very much looking forward to. I've heard that the skill level is actually pretty good in Paris. So I was really curious to what that was. And the last thing I'll say about this is somebody called me Ben Johns. Somebody was like, whoa, I had a partner. We're playing against this other team. And we ended up winning, of course. And they were like, hey, man, you finally won one. They say it to my partner, you finally won one. He was like, yeah, because I'm playing with Ben Johns over here because we played so well. We did really well. I had a good game. And I was like, my gosh,
How did that feel?
I was on cloud nine. At that point, I don't care if you watch my social media. I don't care if you follow me. I'm 7-0 at that point. Yeah. So anyways.
Better than me.
Yeah, absolutely. But yeah, so that was my trip. Mari, I can't even keep talking about my trip because I can barely understand what you're saying. What the hell is going on with your voice right now? What's going on?
I'm surprised this is the first time that y'all are experiencing this, but I am weak, Nikki. I have to admit, I lose my voice all the time. And I'm not sick or anything. I just had a crazy week at MLP, lots of cheering, and clinics right before in Toronto, clinics right after. I'm actually still in Michigan, teaching clinics today. Top 3 yesterday, 2 today so far, 1 more to come. And this is what happens to my voice. I sound like I'm quite a few years older and I smoke a pack a day. So apologize in advance. The worst part is, Nikki, I get compliments about my voice when I sound like this, and I don't know how to take that.
Yeah, like, what do you mean? What about when I sound normal? Okay, all right,
here
we go. All right, we got to
Yeah.
ask the listeners, if you're listening, do you prefer Mari's voice after like 10,000 straight hours of working and maybe just as many packs of cigarettes, or do you prefer Mari's voice normally? I don't know, man. Regularly.
I don't know either. Obviously, it takes me a little more effort to talk right now, but no, I am not sick. I actually feel great. I've had a great week. Grand Rapids is a really special place. I really love that tournament, that event. Shout out to Andrea Coop and the crew over there that runs that tournament. Not only
Beer
is it
City Open,
a super successful pro event for MLP, it is one of the most successful amateur tournaments in the country. So I just know I have nothing but good words to say about it. It was my first event with my new team representing the Atlanta Bouncers. We finished in 7th out of 24.
Okay.
Not too shabby.
I think that's pretty good considering that, you guys are ranked, 14th or something, but for this tournament, you bumped up quite a bit. You guys were holding your own. Yeah. Wait, hold on. It was the Beer City Open. How much beer did you drink at this thing?
No beer was drank.
Oh, wow.
I'm sorry to disappoint you, Nikki.
Wow. What kind of pickleball tournament is that?
I know. I'll be better. Yeah.
But
my voice would have probably been worse if I drank.
Yeah, that's
but
exactly right.
Here we are. No, it was a super fun week, getting to know the team a little bit better. Got some good wins, had some tough losses,
Mm,
but we're back to it this week already. So fast schedule. I am going to San Diego tomorrow morning, which this releases on Thursday. So I'm in San Diego when this releases, which is
there you
cool.
go.
And we start play on Friday this week. So if you'd like to watch me and my fellow bouncers, we will be back live in action on Friday in San Diego at the Barnes Tennis Center.
Barnes, heading to the Barnes.
Yes.
Mari, I just want to know what's your maybe your like one sentence or what your quick elevator pitch on why people should watch.
I think that MLP is the electricity that pickleball was missing. It's
Agreed.
honestly, it's so fun to play. It's so fun to watch. We don't have the regular partnerships that you see in the PPA over and over again. There's variation. It's 1 game to 11. Anything can
Mm,
happen. And Dream Breakers are like, I
mm,
mean, it's Nikki's favorite thing ever. So
love it. Yes, yes.
I do want to say one more thing about this week. If you did watch me play, which I'm not judging if you didn't, okay, I don't get upset with people when they don't watch me, but I did play with a red paddle the past
I
week.
saw that. I love that red paddle. Tell me what was that all about?
I was talking so much trash to Jaume Martinez Vic before. I actually have a paddle right next to me, so I'll pick it up here. My paddle, the gold one, it actually has his name on it. I'm showing the camera. If you're not watching, you should be watching us anywhere
There
that you can
here's a
watch.
reason to watch. There you go.
And I was gonna play mixed with him with his paddle. And I was like, "No, he
Absolutely
doesn't
not.
deserve that kind of confidence." Okay?
Mm-mm.
So I hit up Darren Klinger, our guest from last week, and I'm like, "DK, listen, I need a red paddle." And he's like, "Why?" I was like, "I can't give Jaume this kind of confidence." And he's like, "You're so right." So he brings me a CJ Klinger paddle. So
Classic. Classic.
classic DK. And I play the week with it. There are the same paddles, so it's just more of obviously a joke. I'll go back to my gold one starting this week, but yeah, it was an awesome week. But actually, I don't
Wait,
think I've talked about the most.
wait, hold on.
Uh,
Yes. Here we go. Here's the reason why people should be watching MLP because you all put blood, sweat, and tears out there.
you all know,
Literally.
speak for them. Yeah, crazy. Obviously, a crazy moment that happened. Probably the craziest one I've seen live, and I was on the
Mm,
sidelines. Obviously, my teammates were playing mixed. Jesse Irvine and Jay DeVilliers. They were playing mixed against the goats. They were playing Ben and Jade Kawamoto. They were actually up 9-5.
mm,
Jay had been doing a really good job poaching all game, which is a very hot topic we're going to get to in a second, Nikki. He goes for a poach, hits it, but Jesse hits it too. And instead of making contact with the ball,
mm,
Jay makes contact with the ball. Jesse makes contact with Jay's face.
mm,
And he falls. So I'm just sitting on the bench like, what just
mm.
happened? And he's laying there. I was like, oh gosh, Jay, please get up. And when he sits back up, it's just blood.
Rushing,
And it was
gushing,
shocking. It's what's this area here called, Nikki?
like almost by your temple, not quite your temple, like kind
Almost
of
by
by
your
your
temple?
yeah.
Yeah, so first of all, super dangerous because obviously anything near the head is super dangerous, but
Mm-hmm.
it's an area that bleeds a lot, and I am
Mm.
terrified of stuff like that, so I'm, like, sitting on the bench with my eyes closed, not even looking at the situation. First of all, Jay put the ball away, which is crazy 'cause he gets up
He
and he
got the
goes,
point.
"Did we win the point?" Which was awesome.
Real competitor.
He gets medical attention and goes back out there to finish off the match, so props to Jay and Jesse. Jesse obviously felt terrible about it,
Mhm, mhm.
but Jay didn't call it, so
Mm.
what's crazy is the world's reaction to this, okay? So
And they reacted. The world reacted to this.
absolutely. So there's multiple types of reactions, right? So the topic here is mostly not just the injury, but what was Jay doing all the way over on Jesse's side of the court? What do you
Yeah.
think, Nikki?
It's a tough one because I've made videos before about Christian Alshon taking up, practically pushing, shoving Tyra off the court and all of his partners, not just Tyra, but his partners. This is a thing that he does just, throughout the match. I usually like to see the 75% role. And then let me just say that I understand the tactics and the strategy behind men playing big, right? I get that. Or rather, I should say by the left side player playing big. I get it. I just think to some extent, and I don't know that this completely transfers to this conversation, but in general, I'm a let her play kind of person where I'm like, I like to see women get a little bit more, or whoever's again, typically women are on the right side, so whoever that right side player is, play a little bit more aggressively. Okay, I say that, and here's a caveat: if you have a good poach, if you have a good look at it, take it. Right? If you got a good look at it, I don't care who you are, take it. But I'm struggling because I don't know from the different camera angles on this particular instance. I didn't know if he had a good look at it, whereas I thought Jesse was about to smash the heck out of the ball. So I don't know. It was a weird instance. Part of the reason why I like to see men or the left side playing a little bit less is because a lot of fans emulate the pros. And what happens is on the rec courts, they think that they have the skill and the strategy to do this. And before you know it, men are all over the courts like crazy and women can't get a touch on the ball. And it's wild. I find that it's kind of hard to watch. So anyways, that's my soapbox. But yeah, tell me from a pro's perspective. Tell me, Mari.
Yeah, first of all, the comments are crazy, right? I love going to look at comments on social media posts like that. And the amount of Karens out there saying he deserved it is
Oof.
crazy. All of
Oof.
you, stop being keyboard warriors and saying that
Yeah,
no one
chill out.
deserves to get
Chill
hit in the
out.
face. Okay, that's the
Nobody.
first thing.
Nobody.
He was looking to help his team, and whether he did it
Yeah.
right or
Hmm.
not, he does not deserve to get hit in the face. Okay,
Nope. Yep.
let's get that out of the way. That's the first thing.
Agreed.
Aggressiveness is never the answer. That's my first feeling. My second feeling, and this is an argument that I have consistently with men pro players.
Mm.
Tell us you want the ball, and we'll get out of your way.
Yeah. Yeah.
But no, they
Call it.
want us to watch them move
Mm,
and then get
mm,
out of the way. But then if they don't get to it, we're underprepared. So it's a really tough
mm.
situation for the women to be in. Okay.
And you
So I
also
told
need to
Jay,
know how to respond if they're going for it. Like they need to
absolutely.
call it because then you need to
You can
keep
step
the other
back
side.
or sideways.
That's exactly right. You need to switch. Yep. Hmm.
Correct. So that was the second thing. If he would have called it, I think she would have gotten out of the way. And now the third thing, I think, Nikki, you were spot on with your answer there. I think at the pro level, it's so different. The amount of pressure that the men's players can generate on the women in mixed is just so much higher than amateur. When
Hmm.
I teach mixed in my clinics, I teach it nothing like I teach the pro game.
Hmm.
It's completely different. So, players, watch pro to enjoy. Obviously, you can get a few tips from us, but just because we do something, that doesn't
Mm,
mean you have to do something.
mm.
I just think that's super important. But I'm happy to report that Jay is doing okay and went back to compete the next day.
Oh yeah.
And he will be joining us in San Diego this week. So,
Oh yeah. He's fine. He
yeah,
got right back up
everything
again.
turned out just fine.
Yes. Mari, we don't need to get into this, but maybe down the road, I'd love to hear your thoughts on how do we get women in a better spot so that while the aggression is tough, right? When men can play that side aggressively, how do we get women more elevated so that they combat that? Certain players, I feel like, don't fall victim to that. Anyways, yeah, we don't need to talk about that now, but I'd be curious to hear your thoughts on that in the future.
I think that's a fun topic for us to get into. We can do that later on, Nikki. But I have another fun topic I'd like to talk about in our Beyond the Lines today, which is my Instagram polls.
Mari's an
I
influencer.
decided with my friend Ariel Butler, my clinic companion usually, the co-coach to my clinics, that we were going to become poll influencers. And our producer Paige thought that was hilarious because she goes, "Poll," as in like POLE, but no, we mean poll, POLL. Okay,
Leave it to
very
Paige.
different.
Leave it to Paige. Very different. Pole influencers. Oh my.
Poll influencers.
If that's not a reason to watch,
For the past 14 days, I've posted a poll for my audience, and let me tell you, I am highly entertained by these answers, Nikki.
you're getting some crazy. So, first of all, props to you. You're putting up some good polls, but you're getting some really crazy outcomes here that I was not
Yeah,
expecting.
I mean, I'm making some silly ones, right? For example, I made one Lifetime Ball versus Franklin Ball, and that one had like 600 votes, and the Lifetime won, which was shocking to me, considering that most amateurs play with a Franklin Ball.
Yeah, but people love the Lifetime. And not only that, Lifetime
Yeah,
loyalists are loyal. Yeah.
it's
Hmm.
but it was just a shocking result to me. But the
Yeah.
one that honestly made me a little upset, I'm still a
Mm,
little upset about this.
mm,
I asked if pineapple belongs on pizza, and yes, won, which means like I have absolutely no trust in my following anymore.
mm, mm,
Nope,
mm,
it's out the
mm.
window.
These
Like,
Lifetime pineapple people.
no,
Hmm. Yeah.
no.
All right, Mari's
Okay.
putting her foot down. Wait, but you know what, Mari? One thing that we're missing, I love these polls. So, for those of you listening, if you haven't already seen this, first of all, number one, you should already be following Mari. But if you haven't already seen this, watch the stories and join in on the polls. We need to get even more of this because, like, these things are taking off.
Also,
But
send me
Mari,
suggestions, right?
and
Are
also,
you curious
yes,
about something? Like, I'm
what do you want
happy
to
to
hear?
post your poll out there.
Tell Mari what to post. Yeah, like, what do you want to know? This or that? Mari, we haven't been getting your answers to your own polls.
I've been trying to put it on the comments. So I'm posting the results of the previous day's poll
Got it.
yesterday, and I expressed my sentiment about and disappointment about
You
the
did.
result
You
of
did.
pineapple on pizza. The mountains versus beaches one, I thought
Mm-hmm.
that was the best odds I had of a 50-50 poll. And it was pretty
Mm,
close,
mm.
55-45. So
That seems close. That's fair.
currently, right now, as we're recording this, my poll that's on is what type of headphones do you use? Over the year, mine. In the year, Nikki's.
Like
Wired
this.
headphones had made a comeback. It's
People
trending again, apparently.
Yeah, I mean, kids are using, like, all the old school stuff. They even use flip phones now, so,
Right. And
yeah.
then lastly, no headphones, which is psychopath behavior to me, but it
That better
has
not win.
almost as many
Oh,
votes as the,
no,
maybe more wired headphones. Isn't that
no,
crazy?
that's insane. Who are these
Interesting
people?
stuff happening out there. Send me polls. I'm open to
You got
suggestions.
you got a bunch of
I'm making
sociopaths following you,
pickleball
Mari.
related ones, like life related ones. I'm getting just life advice from my followers at this point. That's what I'm looking
Sounds
for here.
it sounds like a perfect 99% pickleball. Exactly right. You have some pickleball ones and a couple non. That's what you do, Mari. I like it.
Yes,
All right. So please, everyone, go head to the polls. But not only that, let us know. Tell Mari what's the next poll. Add it in the comments. Let us know. What do you
I'm
think?
in. Yeah,
All right. All
love
right.
to get some suggestions.
Yes, there we
Nikki,
go.
where are you headed to soon? I hear you have something pretty exciting coming up.
I do. I'm traveling again. Although my
What's
background,
new?
I'm able to record these in the same background. You never record in the same background. So at least I have some consistency there, Marty.
I'm in a hotel room
You're
in somewhere in Michigan. Honestly, I couldn't tell you where I am.
somewhere in Michigan. We don't know where. So I'm home right now. However, I just got home last night and I'm already about to head back out in just a couple of days to Kansas City. I'm going
Kansas
to
City.
Oh yeah, Kansas City. I'm going to PickleCon. We've talked about this before. You've heard of PickleCon before.
I've heard of PickleCon, but I have not attended PickleCon.
So
Back in 24 when I played the Kansas City tournament, I believe PickleCon was happening at the same time.
yeah, so PickleCon is the ultimate pickleball lovers destination. Like this is a weekend for anybody who loves pickleball, families, like friends who played it, whatever. Anybody who loves pickleball should be at PickleCon because it is like a pickleball extravaganza. This thing. There's tournaments, there's clinics, there's pro-ams, there's content creator events, there's
Is that you?
vendors, we'll see. There's vendors, there's tours where they're going to take you on a bus to different clubs in the area. This isn't pickleball related, but why not? Puppy yoga, like just in
Okay,
case
that's
you need,
awesome. I don't care if that's pickleball related or not.
right? Right? Like what? Like I'm so excited. I'm going to be like the
Can you
first in
keep the
line for that
puppies?
thing. I might. So you never know. I might come home with a gravy. You got a new brother. No, I'm so excited about this. A friend of mine's actually coming with me. My mixed doubles partner is going to be coming with me because he saw what this entailed. He was like, "PickleCon, what's that?" He looked at the website and instantly was like, "I already booked a hotel. I'm booking a flight. Like I'm going."
That's
It's going to
awesome.
be such a good time. But something else that we're going to be doing there that's really exciting. So my boy Nico the lefty. I don't know if you've heard of him before. He's going to be there.
Once or twice.
And once, you've heard about him once. He might have been a guest on this podcast. He's going to be there, and we're going to be running a couple events. We're going to have Black Girls Pickle 2, Alyssa Brown from Black Girls Pickle 2. We're going to have Victor Weathers there, and then Richard Blaze, who's a well-known chef. He's top chef, next level chef, like all of these different chef shows that he's done. I think he's even cooked with Annalie Waters before, so he's going to be
Wow.
joining us. Yeah, he's a cool dude. We're going to have a couple of different events. We're going to have influencer versus influencer. You're going to get to watch us battle things out. You're going to be able to play against us. We'll have the fans
Right.
playing beat your favorite influencer. Why not? I'll probably be emceeing that one. But let's see if you can take down Nico the Lefty. Nico the Lefty and I are going to be playing in an adapted mobility, playing with folks in wheelchairs. And then we're actually going to have an unplugged section where Nico and I sit down, just have a chat, and learn about him as a content creator, and fans get to ask whatever they want. It's unplugged. They're going to go crazy. Fans can ask Nico anything. We're going to make sure he answers
With your
everything. So
questions. I love
prep your
that.
questions. Ask Nico the
I look
Lefty.
forward
Ask
to
him.
seeing the content from this. Nikki, this will
But
be a
yeah,
fun time.
you know I'm going to have the camera out the whole time. So follow along my journey. I'm going to be so tired and I cannot wait. It's going to be so much fun. PickleCon. Let's go.
Love it. Nikki heading to PickleCon. I'm heading to San Diego.
Mhm.
And this week we have a really fun guest. Actually, you talked about content creator. This is one of the original content creators of Pickleball. She has a new business that is pretty exciting, and I'm really excited for other people to hear about it. I was kind of in shock of what she's doing. So,
Oh, yeah.
on that note, should we bring her in?
Let's bring in Sydney Steinaker. Let's get her in here.
All right, Sydney, get in here.
Oh, Mari, we are bringing the hits. The hits don't stop rolling, and here we go. This one's about to get really loud because we have Sydney Steinaker in the building, in the
Oof,
in
oof.
the internet building. There you go. Drop that beat. Oh my God. So, Mari, you two know each other clearly.
We do. Yes,
Yeah.
we've met.
Have you guys raved together?
Not yet.
Yet.
Emphasis on yet. Emphasis
Yeah.
on the yet.
There you go. Okay, so for those of you who don't know, Sydney Steinaker is all over pickleball internet, throwing like literal raves, pickleball raves. Just threw a massive one at Pickleball Escape this past week, which we're going to talk about. But we've actually been following you forever because you were, I think we can safely dub you like the first pickleball influencer pretty much of all time. Like real one, I guess, right? Yeah. Not to make you blush or anything, but
No,
yeah.
and we're following,
so
we've
old.
both become that sense. So we are basically following in your footsteps. So we should basically just let you lead this at this point, right? Nikki, what
Yeah,
are we doing here?
I'm gonna be so real with y'all. The past, like, what I've been doing this for implementing for 6 years. Like, even though the word influencer is so cringe,
Right?
Creator,
It's weird. It's a
creator,
content
right?
creator. I like to say content creator. Yeah.
It's been a lot of throwing spaghetti at the wall and just seeing what sticks. And it's been a lot of learning along the way. If you look at my like content from 6 years ago to now, it's like night and day. If someone had told me 6 years ago I'd be throwing pickleball raves for a living, I'd be like, "Excuse me, what? I'm supposed to be throwing aesthetic pickleball parties. Like, what are you talking about?" So yeah, it's been a journey, but it's also like I think that's what makes it a little bit more entertaining for people as well, because they're like, "What is she doing now? Like, what is she doing next?" So,
What's
and I'm like,
next?
honestly, I'm like, well, yeah, pickleball raves. Next, maybe I'll be throwing a golf rave soon. We'll see. So,
Okay, sign me up. Sign me up. You're speaking my language. So you said 6 years ago you would never be thinking about pickleball raves, but let's go through the full story because we're going to get to baseline. Don't worry. We're going to spend a good chunk
yeah,
talking about that. Let's talk about 6 years before that. What if someone even uttered the word pickleball to you?
I would have been like, wait, what's that? And also
Yeah.
pickleball, and also like pickles, like what? That's wild. And like, excuse me, what? I'm a Pilates girly. I will say 6 years ago, prior to pickleball, my life was just like so different as well. 6 years ago, before that, I was working in law. I was working in estate planning.
Law?
Most people don't know about me is I worked in law firms for 7 years.
What?
Wow.
Yeah.
No
So
wonder you're in the rave world. How boring was that?
I will say I wanted to be a lawyer. It's just because, like,
Mm.
okay, I was an orchestra kid too. I guess we're really just getting into it.
Let's go all the way back.
I was an orchestra kid. I did orchestra for 11 years. All my friends were really, really smart.
What
And
did you play?
also a violin and cello.
Okay.
Mm.
I
Very
will say
cool.
I was actually really good. Like really good. It was my pickleball, like growing up. Like I was obsessed. Like it was 1 a.m. and I'd lock myself like in my room and like I
Your
actually
poor
go to the
parents.
closet for like
Seriously.
a whole sound.
But
And
that's got to be
I
like so calming if you're good at it though. That's got to be actually kind of nice.
honestly, I will say as a pickleball player, I'm very wristy because I
Mm.
think actually the orchestra did
Mhm.
that to me because like
Wow.
it's so much of like this motion when you're like playing.
Mhm.
So like
That's interesting because
yeah.
we ask someone, oh, what sport did you play before? But I guess what instrument did you play before might affect the way that you play pickleball too. I haven't thought about that.
Yeah. So again, it was
Huh.
just like, oh, that's probably why I use so much wrist in my game because that was like
Mhm.
my like motion for like 11 years. So anyway, all my friends went on to be doctors and engineers, and then I was like, you know what? I'll be a lawyer just to fit into the group. So I went to college, studied business economics. I thought I was gonna go to law school, but my mom was like, hey, if you're gonna do that, you got to go like work at a law firm and see if it's something you want to do because law school's expensive.
Mm.
So
Smart.
yeah, so I will say I was working full time at law firms in Newport Beach. I was going to school like from 5 to 10 p.m. every night because I would work from 9 to 4:30.
Wow.
Oh my god.
Then go to UCI at night, go to class 5 to 10, and then do my homework after 10 p.m. And then that was my life for several years. So I think that's why I have such a work ethic too, is
Yeah.
because that was my life. That after I graduated college, I was like, you know what? Don't want to go work in law. These lawyers are miserable. Um, they were
None of
all
that.
so miserable. And honestly, the office life was not for me.
Mhm.
So I actually applied for a job as an executive assistant at First American Title Insurance. And
Shout out First American Title Insurance.
heck yeah, Fortune 500 company. And that's turned into me getting a job as a cyber information security analyst at the company.
At the
Yeah.
same company?
Yeah.
So you applied for executive assistant and you got
Yeah.
a cybersecurity job.
Oh yeah. Well, also while in college, I like was studying engineering for 2 years too because I was like, oh,
Okay.
just in case, let me study it.
How
I
long
will
were you in
say
school for?
7 years.
Okay.
I will.
Oh, okay.
I was
No,
Good
I
about
will
to
enough.
say,
say like,
how did you get through all these classes? Because I didn't have time for that.
oh my gosh, it was a lot of. I was working the entire time I was in college, so that's why it took so long.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I did graduate, though, I was like, yes, but also like,
Mhm.
now what?
Mhm.
And then, yeah, I was working in information security. 2 months after I started that job, COVID happened.
Mm.
And a lockdown happened. And I was like, okay. I was living in California and I was like, dang, I'm bored out of my mind. I'm looking at data spreadsheets all day. Like, this is miserable. Then TikTok happened. And I was like seeing all these people posting on TikTok, and I was living at the time with my dad and my grandmother. I started posting on TikTok, and I blew up on TikTok, believe it or not. But not even for pickleball content. That's actually something I don't talk about. It wasn't for pickleball content. I blew up because I was doing like reviews of common like places to go to in Orange County here in California. And then from there, I just like one day I made like a 2000s era movie on TikTok because I was bored out of my mind in my room at like 9 p.m. So I started dressing up as different characters, made a whole 2000s era movie. And at that same time, I started playing pickleball. And one day I was at the courts and I left the courts, saw my video got millions of views.
Oh my God.
I think I had like, it was like 200,000 likes, 300,000 likes, 400,000 likes. It was crazy. And at the time, like on TikTok, there weren't that many people that were blowing up like that.
Yep.
And yeah, after that, I was like, well, like I have this momentum. Let me post a pickleball TikTok.
Oh my God.
That got me noticed by Franklin Sports. And then I think it was like a month after I was signed by Franklin.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. Wait, hold on. In there, where did you get started with pickleball? How did that come into play?
Backstory also. So at the time, my former stepdad, my mom and my stepdad, they're getting divorced right now. But at the time, like they had just started dating and he was obsessed with pickleball. He had a court in his backyard. So what would happen was I would go over to his house after work every day to go play pickleball because he was looking for someone to play with. And honestly, like my mom was like, can you just play with him? He's like, yeah, I need someone to entertain him.
Keep him busy.
Keep him busy. I'm going crazy. I'm in everything. And I was like, sure, like, why not? And I was like, I don't know, why do you want me to play with him? It's gonna be like, I don't know if it's gonna hurt the relationship because I'm gonna kick his ass. He was actually really good. Every time he beat me 11-0 and I got so competitive, I was like, why is this old man beating me? This is so embarrassing. Like,
there it is, Nikki.
There it is. We were waiting for it. We were waiting for the punch. There it was.
Was he wearing braces of any sort?
Knee braces.
All the braces. All the braces.
All the braces.
Let's go. Braces, knee braces. I was like, how? What do you mean? Every day I'd go back. I was like getting another point. And then next thing you know, I am looking for tournaments to sign up for because he said that there was cash prizes at some of these. And I'm like, whoa. I can make money off this? That's crazy. That's wild.
Little did she know.
Yeah. And what was crazy is I signed up for the Winter Classic, which was like this tournament in Newport Beach at the time. And during this time, actually, even prior to this, my stepdad used to host pros to stay at his house because of the court he had in the backyard. He had this equestrian style house, like all his kids had moved out, so he had all these extra rooms. So he used to host Simone. He used to host, like once we hosted Lucy, Deckel Barr, Ben Johns, Colin Johns. So
we're not familiar with them. But Simone, wow, yeah. No.
So all those pros used to stay at that house at the same time.
Wow.
So it was group dinners that were like happening every night after tournaments. And they would come and stay with us even before this when I started getting into pickleball. And when I started playing, actually Irina Teroshenko, she gave me my first pickleball lesson.
Oh, wow. That's a pretty good first coach.
Yeah, it was awesome. I have like video of me like running because I was late as usual, but like it was amazing. Yeah, so she gave me my first pickleball lesson and then they were here for tournaments. Played in the tournaments. I thought I was so cool because I had all these pros give me advice. And that's a tournament where I met my ex, Colin, and where he stayed with us. He was like in my kitchen and I was like, there's someone in my kitchen. That's wild. And that's how that happened. So
what? Oh my God. You know what? Mari, before I referred to you, I think in episode 1, I referred to you as the chosen one because of how your tennis coach chose you. But I think we actually have the real chosen one.
We're going to keep shifting. That's okay. Yeah. I'll pass it off. All right.
No,
you can have
it's
it.
fine. It's
for now.
The way that every single star aligned for this. This is from TikTok to the equestrian house to everything. My gosh.
Every time I like tell someone my story, I'm like, it's really weird how all this has kind of like come to fruition. Just too coincidental. And also like when I'm now entering this new endeavor, because there's so many facilities reaching out to me right now with my new company, and there's so many brands reaching out, like there's a lot of people in the pickleball space that they're like, I've been trying to do the same thing as you. Why is it working? Why are you getting attention? Like, what are we doing wrong? And I'm like, well, I've been around for a while, and it's like one of those things
You've networked.
Yeah, it's even so, like, even if they don't follow me, they know me, which is crazy to think about. Like, I was on a call with Babylon like 2 weeks ago, and they were like, "Sydney, we met you at a tournament like 5 years ago in Denver."
Yeah.
And I'm like, "That's wild." I'm like, "You guys know who I am? That's crazy."
It is definitely this world of social media is so strange, and just the pickleball world, right? The number of people that you meet, you interact with, is pretty crazy. But you're, I would say, easily one of the most recognizable people for sure. So I think it's
Oh,
probably pretty fair that people meet you, see you, know like exactly who you are, even if they don't follow you. That makes
I
sense.
I don't know. I just told them like I'm just a girl, just having fun. Every single time I'm like someone asked me to sign their paddle at my event last weekend, and I was like, "Are you sure? I feel like I'm ruining it. Like, are you sure? Like I can hit up a pro. Maybe you want their signature instead."
Wow.
I still feel that way sometimes, to be fair, too. It is a weird feeling to have people kind of, I mean, it goes back to the parasocial relationships. Nikki and I have talked about this a little bit, but people just come up to you and know your name and you're like, hi, it's good to see you.
Isn't it?
Am I
Fun?
supposed to remember your name?
And
Yeah,
Just that awkward situation.
yeah, and they act like they know everything about you. How's your dog? Yeah, it's like her new skincare routine is amazing, and you're like, "What?"
I get to the point where I don't know if this happens to you guys, but where people come up to me like they know me and like I know them so much that it messes with my brain where I'm like, do I
That's
know
what I'm
them?
saying. Am I
Yeah.
supposed to remember your name? And I'm like, oh, where did I meet them?
Yeah.
Think about it. Come on, come on. Nope, didn't get to it. So, hey,
Oh,
you.
hey, you. How are you?
Okay, this is my workaround for that. I
Tell
just
us.
call everyone queens, and like,
That's
What
going
about
funny.
in.
guys?
Nope, they're queens
Oh,
too.
everyone's a queen. I mean,
The
sometimes I
guys are queens too, or
Love it.
kings?
or I'll do king sometimes. It's just yeah, it's or like yeah,
I
it's like
think we should go with queen. Why not? Why not?
I
Right?
like it. I
it's
Like
like
a
it.
funny.
new
So many
dude,
guys
then
have
the
like
new dude.
they're like I've
Dude,
never been called a
yeah.
queen before.
Yeah, they get excited. That's true. Good
Like
move.
it.
It's definitely interesting. Where's like the weirdest place that you've been like recognized? That's like not a
Uh,
pickleball place.
Nikki, do you have one yet?
I've been recognized on the street, but it's New York City. I feel like New York City is tough because a massive city, but it's also such a small city that people are kind of just out and about. But yeah, somebody stopped me on the street and like pointed at me and kind of like looked for a second, and I was just like, and he was like, you make pickleball Instagrams, right? And I was like, yeah. And he was like, you got me into pickleball. And I was like,
Oh, that's
what?
awesome.
Yeah, he was like, I was really nervous to play, but I watched your videos and you inspired me. And what's really funny is I had actually left pickleball before that. I was texting my partner and I was in a bad mood because some stuff had happened at the courts that day that I was not happy about. And I was like, oh, this is so frustrating. Like, I'm like not in a good place right now. This is like really annoying, whatever. And she's like, it's okay. Just have a good time. Pickleball joy. Like, like have a good time. And then I'm walking and I'm in the street somewhere else. And then this happens. And I was just like, what? Like,
All
this
your
was
anger is gone.
gone instantly, and I don't think felt anger again at the pickleball courts after that. I was like, this is like 4 weeks ago, so yeah,
That's
pretty
really
crazy.
cool.
That's
Yeah, Mari?
I've had a few. I think the more fun ones, I ran into a drunk group of ladies at a casino that was so excited to see me. This was like 2 a.m. I was sober. I had a flight to catch in the morning, but I mean, she's staring at me at the roulette table. And I'm like, do I have something on my mouth? Did I check my teeth?
yeah,
And
that's
I like,
crazy.
and then I just say hello because I was like, is this lady okay? Hi. She goes, you're Mari. I'm like,
What?
I am. Who are you? And she's like, wait, runs and gets like 7 friends. And they're all like,
What?
ah!
That's
Panicking at the roulette
crazy.
table. So that was a fun experience. And yeah, that was probably my most just kind of surreal because I was just in regular clothes. You know, I was in jeans and it just whatever top I was wearing and my hair was down and it was a full circle
That's
moment there.
impressive.
Yeah, that was
That's a
pretty cool.
real fan. Sydney, I know you have an answer lined up. You probably have a bunch of these.
No, no, no. But yeah, kind of ish. I don't know. There's too many at this point. But I don't know. It's weird. Because I never know what content is getting shown on their feed. I'm like, what
Mm.
version of me are you
Which
getting on
one
your
did you
feed?
see?
Do you have blondes? Do you have red hair? Do you have black hair?
For yeah, that's true. That's fair.
I'm
But
like,
they know.
I think one time on a Southwest flight, the flight attendant said something on the intercom that was crazy.
Wow, that's pretty cool.
No.
Yeah. I was like literally mid-flight. I was leaving a tournament. I was like in my hoodie, like no makeup. Just like I wanted to get home. And this lady's like, ladies and gentlemen, we have a pickleball celebrity on our flight. We have pickleball Barbie on the flight. Because at the time I was
Oh.
pickleball Barbie. And everyone's like turning around, like, who, and then I'm just like,
Your hood's just on.
No.
I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Also, like, people, like, had their phones out, and I'm like, they're gonna be so disappointed, 'cause I'm
Yeah.
gonna go and Google me. Like, it's gonna be,
You're
like,
like,
so sad.
Barbie?
Yeah,
Barbie with the
literally.
hood on? It's amazing.
I just love how she flipped it on us. I told you that she was going to run this podcast for us today, Nikki. She's out here asking us questions.
I
Sydney, this is
know.
not how it works. We're
No, this is what I have.
interviewing you.
I will say, I haven't had a chance to really, like, hang out with you guys, like, one-on-one. So I'm still
There you
learning
go.
a lot about you guys, and I can't wait till I can get to hang out with y'all in person.
If you wanna come to New York, yeah.
Actually, I am talking to a brand about, because I need, like, sponsors to go out to New York. We'll say, these events are expensive,
I bet.
believe it.
but, we are talking about doing something for US Open, so
Oh, amazing.
wink.
That'd be
That would
really cool.
sick. That's literally right up the street from me. Let me know.
Yes, I will
Nice.
1000 oh, trust me, everyone and their mother's gonna know I'm in New York City when it happens, like, so.
Mhm. Make some noise.
Okay,
Yeah.
so last thing you said about your journey was you post that pickleball TikTok and Franklin notices you. You're signed within a month. So from there, what happens next? Are you required to keep making posts? Is this something that you want to do?
Yeah, well, so I started making posts for Franklin. I was going to a lot of the PPA tournaments at the same time. I was in a relationship with Colin at the time, so, like, I just would travel with him to different cities, so that's what made the content kind of pop out more, and that's also why, like, Franklin, I will say, was like, this is awesome because, like, not only is she, like, creating cool content, but she's on the road and we can get, like, pro content and
Right.
stuff. We were, like, out on the road, and I would go to different cities, do content there, and then Shea Underwood is one of the first other creators I met, and he's like, "You inspired me," and I'm like, "That's so cool,"
Wow.
and shots. And that was only a few months after the fact, and then from there, I think All Things Pickleball was the next pickleball creator I saw, and then, yeah, all these other creators just started popping out, and I was like, "Okay, like, now there's all these other creators." I'm like,
Now,
"What's
yeah.
gonna set me apart from all these other creators now?"
Mhm.
Because all of a sudden, we're all looking at each other, because now that there's contracts on the line,
Mm.
like, that's when all these creators started coming out, which is awesome and so amazing in so many ways. Now there's so much content circulating and everything. But I don't know if you guys remember, but there was a time when, like, left and right, Selkirk started signing every single creator out there. And after Franklin, I went to Selkirk and was signed with them for a year. And then at the time, Yola was a little upset at me because they're like, "We wanted to sign you."
Mm.
We're just about to emerge. And honestly, I will say, because I knew Ben and Colin were going to Yola, like, I just wanted something that was separate from them to make
Fair.
my own, like, path on that side. Because I think a lot of the time, like, the past several years, even, like, now, I still have people tell me, like, "Oh, you only got, like, what you got because it's, like, Ben and Colin."
Mm.
And I'm like, well, like, I could see it. I will say, I'm not going to deny the fact that they definitely, like, being associated with them did help in some ways. But also, there was so many other things that were pre-existing them, and also that I was doing completely without their knowledge, that allowed me to get to this point. Like, I actually didn't tell Colin that I signed with Yola when I signed with Yola.
Wow.
He found out the same day as the rest of the world, which he was not happy about. But also, I was like, I just wanted to do something on my own, for once,
Yeah.
without the intro. So, yeah, that's kind of how that came to be.
Sydney, I gotta stop you there because I think that's what's so important about you telling your story, because I mean, there was a lot of stuff, and I obviously followed you for a very long time. I know you've been talking to you for a while, but I didn't know so much of that story that you've already shared, and how you were even, TikTok famous before all of this, before pickleball. And so I got to say, sure, there might be elements of some notoriety and visibility based on a relationship, but I would also argue that maybe Colin actually benefited from having you around. And I think pickleball in general, right? Because you already carried this visibility and this presence, and you're over here inspiring. While I can see why somebody may say that, I think it's entirely untrue. So I just want to just squash that. I don't think people give you enough credit for having an influence and an impact on his career.
Just to add to that, I don't think that a lot of people like to be negative. Like the comment that you said, you only got things because of Colin. That's crazy for anyone to say, because they don't gain anything from saying that to you.
Right.
And I don't think people realize the value that influencers, I know you don't like that word, but I do think they influence. And that's why I'm using that word specifically right now. I think that the importance of people talking positively and showing different sides of the sport is huge. And I say this as a pro player that loves the sport and wants other people to get involved, right? You're the reason, both of you are a reason that a lot of people come to my clinics, because they learn about the sport, they start watching your videos and they're like, I want to get better. And then they come to the instructional side and find me, right?
Yep.
You're basically the gateway to us. So thank you for that. And truly, you shouldn't ever feel like you.
Well, also just like learning about content and everything along the way, like pro content is so different from like
Mm.
creator
Oh yeah,
content. Because as like an athlete, you have to portray yourself a certain way on social media. Like you really have to like put yourself in like this box of like this is the type of content I can do. If I were to throw a pickleball rave, Nike would not like that, you know. Versus like creators,
Yeah.
we have a lot more flexibility with what we can do, and that's where we
Mm.
can't do that clickbait content. But if pros are doing constant clickbait content, people are going to be like, well, if they're like this online, what are they like as a player on the courts? For creators, we can have a little bit more fun, but also like kudos to you, Mari, for still keeping that content engaging as
I
well.
tried.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Because that was the one thing too. I was like, I've never done instructional pickleball content. Like, I've always steered away from that just because I'm like, there's so many people that have to do that, but also like, I'm also not like at that caliber.
The reason
Like,
why I started is because of how much bad content I saw out there,
Yep.
honestly. That was kind of my motivation. People are listening to so much bad advice, and I don't like that. I'm trying to spread knowledge out there in the best way possible. So, there's a lot of good people too, okay? I'm not just saying the negative here, but yeah, it's something that I think I can help with, and you 2 are doing it in other ways, right? Obviously, pickleball raves is just like, if you would have said that to me a year ago, I would have found it hilarious too. It's like, "No way, there's no
Like,
chance."
no way.
We're
Yeah.
gonna have
never did
pickleball
actually.
raves, and here we are. So
Not to fast forward too much, but I do want to jump to pickleball raves because, like, how did that thought even pop into your head? How did this?
had
What
to be a
happened here?
dream. You wake up and you're like,
Yeah.
pickleball raves. That's what's gonna happen.
Not necessarily. You guys said the chosen one earlier. I'm actually a huge Star Wars fan. I love all things like futuristic. So actually, I used to live in Austin before I lived in LA and Orange County. Like I used to, for my friends, do glow in the dark pickleball. Like I had a bunch of black lights like a few years ago, and I would do it just for fun for my friends. And we play like EDM music, and I would tape down the lines, and I'd set it up for them, and like again, it was just for funsies for my friends. All my friends were like, "Hey, you should like do this for a living." And at the time, I was working for Major League Pickleball and as their content manager, and I was like, "No, like
Nope.
that's silly. Like absolutely not. This is just for funsies." And last year, like when I moved to LA, I was like creating content and in Los Angeles, and I was like, you know what? Like let's have some fun. Like let's do like a pickleball rave. Like let's do the largest party in pickleball history. Because why not? Like I felt like my content was like not hitting as it used to be, and I was like,
Mm.
let's do something bold. Let's do something big. Let's do something out there. So I went to these guys. I'm in downtown LA. I knew that they had like these 3 pickleball courts that were in a warehouse. And I was like, I'm throwing a Project X style pickleball party, pickleball rave. And I honestly, I didn't think anything of it. I literally thought it was going to be like just like a one and done, just like cool content thing and be done. Didn't have the glow, but I did have the lights and I had cool cars and we had the EDM. And the next day, like I woke up and like my DMs were exploding from facilities. Like, we need this at our facility. And I'm like, really? That's crazy. Well, also that event cost me like $40.
What?
Yeah, I was like very DIY with it. I will say I've been doing a lot of this with the budget, but yeah, it's been a process. After that, Newport Beach TTC hit me up, and that was when my next event happened. And my company was called Project P at the time, Project X movie, but Project P. I actually changed the name because there was an IP issue with Project P, and there was a
Fair.
trademark on the name that I did not
Yeah.
own. Again, I did not know that when I threw the first event. I thought that was just for funsies. I thought it was gonna be a one and done thing. But as all these different requests came in, I was like, okay, Bassline Sports, like that could be something. And actually, Bassline Sports was supposed to be just an instructional company that I was going to have run alongside Project P. So it was going to be Project P, and then Bassline Sports would be like, okay, where you learn the sport. But ultimately, I'm just mashing it all together now in one company, and it seems to be working. So,
Seems like that's better for branding also.
oh, so much better. I will say, I've also kind of shifted a little bit more in terms of marketing, and also just like, I think now that there is a lot more inbound coming in because I've changed it to sports rather than just like Project P. I will say Project P was a little bit more unhinged than Baseline Sports. Now it's a little bit more wholesome, I will say. And also, I'm doing everything myself basically right now for
Mm.
Baseline Sports. Before with Project P, I was working with some people in the EDM world. And I will say, I just prefer not to work with people from that realm now.
Nikki was in the music world for a long time.
I
So
was, so I know.
And I will say I've never had so many shady people do so
Mhm.
things. And I was like, I'm sorry, I cannot let you guys into my sport. Like, there's no way. Like, this is like not like I'm sorry. It was just getting to the point where someone like that was trying to work on my team was like, yeah, so by the way, I have someone in my life that could potentially come to your events and like hurt people. And like, I was like, whoa, 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 whoa. Like the moment, like that was like, I was like, at that moment, like, you're done, you're gone. Also, you're done, you're gone. Like, I just like axed everyone out of my life, like the past month and a half. I was like,
Wow.
it's like, I'm just going to do solo. Like, I'm sorry, you guys. Like, this is just getting to the point where I also wasn't making money off of Project P. Like, you guys, like, literally, like, everyone was getting paid before I was. And I was like, really looking at everything. And I'm like, what is everyone here doing? Because everyone's like sees this idea of like pickleball raves and EDM and pickleball. And they're like latching on. They're like, this I want to be part of. But I think the reason also why this is like working is because I just have such a deep understanding of the pickleball world and what pickleballers want and what they want to see, but also like what ravers want to see as well. So I'm trying to combine those two worlds right now. I will say every event I try and switch things up a bit, but Pickleball Escape really proved that there is a demand for this. It's the middle of the night and it was packed in there in this facility, 11 courts. There were 600 people in there. And
Wow.
I was like,
Can you walk us through what this event looks like? So
Yeah.
I want to sign up for a pickleball rave. What is included? What am I going to see? What am I going to do? What am I going to experience?
Every event looks a little bit different right now, but let's use the last event as an example. So you buy a ticket, you show up in neon clothes or whatever rave outfit you prefer to wear. People were actually wearing rave outfits, like the fuzzy
Wow.
boots. They were wearing
What?
gloves. It was so cool. Like, it was like they were wearing their actual like EDC outfits. It was so cool to see. And they're like walking in and everything's glow in the dark. It took 30 hours to set up, by the way.
You had been doing that for days, right? You had been days leading up. I saw you
Yeah.
like putting the recycled actual pickleballs, the lights in there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But the actual setup, like after that was 30 hours. So just to like set up all the black lights, all the tape, all the decorations. But yeah, so they walk in, it's glow in the dark pickleball. We have open play courts. Sometimes we have live ball going on during the events. I will say when we have that many people in, it's more social than pickleball. But every facility has different needs. So every facility has been reaching out. Some of them, they do have caps of like, we can only have this many people in our facility. Others are like, pack this place in. We don't care. So that's why I say every event's going to look different. I'm doing one at Warner Tennis Center next Saturday. And
Nice.
we have 7 courts there. It's on a rooftop and they're like, pack the place in. I'm like, okay, noted. Let's pack the place in. I try and like relay that as much as possible to people that this is more social than anything. So like, you can play pickleball at a rave, but I'm still trying to find that perfect solution or like that perfect like formula, like what people want. Because also the honor system of 10-minute games is kind of hard too.
Yeah.
I'm going to get some timers and see what that looks like. But I do find that live ball works the best. It just, again, that just requires us to like hire a lot of coaches. But when we do live ball on multiple courts, I find that's when people have the most fun. There's a DJ playing, there's house, there's dubstep, there's techno. It's a vibe.
Do you find that the folks who are attending are coming in groups? Do you find that there are folks who are totally fine coming by themselves, showing up and then meeting people? Like, what's the mix there?
It's actually a pretty good mix. There's a lot of beginners, a lot of first timers, never played pickleball before, which is awesome.
Good intro.
A lot of groups. Actually, right now, I do offer 2-for-1 tickets. So I'm like, hey.
Oh, cool.
So like the first like week, I'm like, hey, like if you want to come and bring a friend who's never tried pickleball before or introduce them to the sport, like this is your chance to do so. So I have those available right now. I would say people usually come in groups, or at least 2 or 3 people will come at once. A lot of times there's a lot of curiosity, like pickleball rave, and then they see it, they're like, oh, pickleball rave. So I think this is the last event when we had the lasers above everyone. Honestly, that was so sick. So sick. I will say I was paranoid the entire time. I'm like, please make sure the lasers are above everyone's head.
Yes, yes,
no
yes.
one's going to die and everything. I do partner with a professional production company right now for the EDM stuff because that's what they do for like a living. And they're there with their team to make sure everything runs smoothly for that portion.
What age ranges did you see or are you seeing mostly? Just curious.
I have mostly under 35 right now. I think that's also why a lot of like companies are like, she finally has figured it out because I think that's the target audience that most brands have been wanting to hit, but they're not able to do traditional football events. And I'm finally able to hit it. But here's the thing, we even have older ravers coming through. Like I have a lot of like 55 plus people that come through because they're like, I used to rave in downtown LA warehouses back in the day. And I'm like, Sally, Really? Like you, a raver?
With her neon knee braces and
Yeah.
They have so much fun, and that's also the beauty of it. And I will say, like EDM, like rave culture is all about peace,
yeah.
love, unity, respect. Same thing applies to pickleball. Like we're all about about the love and community and that same feeling. So there actually are a lot of overlaps in our communities where it's like accepting and loving everyone. Yeah, it's been really really cool to see, and people are now making like group chats out of my events. We have our little community, which is amazing. It's like someone was asking when the next one was. Some people were at like my last rave. They're like, "We've been to all your SoCal raves. We love them."
Wow.
And I'm like, wait, this is a community. What? That's crazy.
Mm-hmm. The
Um,
baseline community. Oh yeah.
and they're like, "Where's the merch?" I'm like, merch,
Yep.
that's something. I will say, these events are so expensive though to throw that I've just been so like focused on that I'm like, merch. Yes, I'll get to that eventually. I'll probably
Yeah.
have a few concept pieces out, but the EDM, like the uns world, like it's something else for sure. But DJs are having fun. It's nice to have DJs like asking me to play at my events, which is cool too. I'm like, you
That's
want to?
awesome.
Yeah. I'm like,
Are they DJs who actually like pickleball or they just know about the event?
mixture of both, actually.
Interesting.
There's some that don't even play pickleball, but they're like, they just
Probably
see
a
it.
fun event to play at. Yeah, you
Yeah,
just see
of
people
course.
having
Yeah,
glow pickleball.
they're like, this is the coolest thing ever. Because last time I put the DJ on the court, like sandwiched in between two courts. So it was like two courts, DJ, two courts. So we put a tarp over. Because the DJs were complaining that like everyone's playing pickleball and like no one's in front of them. And again, I could put John Summit on like that stage. And I will say pickleballers are so obsessed with pickleball,
Mm-hmm.
they will not care if I put John Summit on that stage. That's why I'm like, we'll work with local DJs. We'll give them like
Yep.
a place to play. They get to play for a couple hundred people and they have the time of their lives. I let them bring their squad. I'm like, if you have your people that want to like try pickleball for the first time, like bring them in. Right now, I'm really just like trying to get as many people like into my events, like to just experience pickleball for the first time. And so we can like grow this to be something bigger in the future.
You brought up a really great point. What was that? Plur, you said? Peace, love, unity, respect?
Yeah, so it's like a common phrase in culture.
That is so interesting. I've never
Yeah.
heard of that, but there's definitely an intersect, right, with the pickleball world.
Mhm.
And like you said, they're both communities. That's something that I've definitely known that, rave culture, EDM culture, like when you think of, was it EDC or something like that? When I think of like these like really big festivals, like people travel from all over and they go from festival to festival and they're always on the road with their friends. And it's like a whole thing. Like these people are so into it. And you see a lot of similarities, obviously, with the pickleball world, right? Where we're just like so obsessed. And I didn't realize, I know that it's been a good vibes kind of community, but I didn't realize how similar it was to pickleball. So can you tell us a little bit about that? What are the vibes? It's not a competitive situation that they're in. How are you kind of monitoring the good vibes in the building?
I will say we haven't had any issues yet with anyone having any bad vibes, if you will. There have been a few instances when beginners would be like, hey, like, actually, it's not so much the EDM world, it's a pickleball world. Pickleball
Mm,
players they're like, hey, I was trying to learn pickleball, but the good players are making me feel bad about myself. And I'm like,
mm,
dang it. I'm like, come on, pickleball world. So I just don't know how to, like, I know separating by level obviously helps, but I will say it's just so hard with these events because it is so loud in there too. Learning pickleball in these environments can be rough. That's why I started
yeah.
offering these beginner clinics before the events. So if you do want to learn, you can do so when there's no music. So I can actually explain the rules to you. I do have security at my events. Last event, we had 3 security guards. It was so wild because we did have like the pat downs with like doing the wands
Wow.
and everything. The problem is like these events that I'm posting, they're all going viral right now.
Yeah.
So every time I announce an event, like it's getting shared thousands of times. I don't know who's seeing it. The pickleball community, we're kind of used to like our community, like how it operates and everything. Anytime you open up a facility to new audiences, you don't know who that's going to bring in. So that's why we do have security at these events. Never have any issues or haven't yet, knock on wood. But again, I think also that's what makes players feel safe is the fact that we do have security at these events. It's more like it does give nightclub kind of feels though, especially the last one. That last event was like, I was like, dang, this is actually feels like I'm in a nightclub. We had bottle service, we had VIP
Wow.
tables, VIP courts. Yeah, that was interesting.
Wow. Getting
So,
us back to the club. Yep. Yep.
but it's a
Seriously.
healthy club. Actually, a hospital was doing a tournament the day of my rave, like before the rave. Like they were like there, like doing their tournament.
Employees?
And then we had all the decor up and everything. And
No, the employees, no, the patients were there.
I was about to say, yeah, who's all
oh
there?
yeah, that's the hospital. Yeah, the employees of the hospital, and
Dang,
they were
Nikki.
they
Get
were
it
even
together.
like, oh my gosh, that's crazy. Imagine the patients out there. That's like, wow, they're hooked up to an IV drip. That's like, oh my god, wait. But even the hospital was like, they like pulled me aside. They're like, thank you so much for what you're doing. They're like, you don't know how many people we see coming into the ER from these raves, and they are like overdosing. They are like stuff. And most people don't know is when you come to my events, most people don't even drink, or
Yep.
like they can, but like they don't drink. I mean, if they are taking substances, I'm not seeing it. I'm not noticing it, but like I don't think they are, because that would really suck to get hit by a pickleball during that time. So again, it's more so like there is a wellness element, because now you feel like you're in a rave, but also like you don't feel that pressure to do drugs, different substances. I've attended a few festivals, and I will say I've always kind of felt a little like, I don't know, like I don't feel like I fit in necessarily all the time, because like for me, I'm like, I feel like as an athlete, I feel bad being at these events, like these festivals, because I see like what's going on around me.
Yeah.
Like as an athlete, as someone who's like coaching pickleball, like I feel like this is like associated with all that. I'm like,
Yep.
but I love this music. I love the dancing. How do I create this without this? Like everything surrounding it. And that's where my events kind of like fit into that. It's great to see people having fun and not trying new things. And they could see their favorite DJs just in a wholesome environment, or wellness environment, if you will. But if you want a full send with alcohol or like other things, I mean, do so. Don't want to see it.
Maybe not on the court. Yeah.
And on the court, go to the
That'd be
after,
tough.
somewhere after.
Yeah.
You said obviously these are pretty big events. Are you having to invest in marketing, or this is word of mouth just kind of getting it done for you right now?
It's literally just my social media page.
Wow.
It's crazy. A lot of people who were in my life with Project P, my former company, I always felt like I was being gaslit the entire time, because they thought it was a concept of it that was working. And I kept on finding that my page was doing all the work for like the drive for this. And the past 2 events, I've only just been promoting on my personal Instagram and TikTok page. And that's like where all these people are coming from. So
You
I was
just
like,
said 600 people showed up to this one, right? Is that what
yeah,
you said?
yeah. And before that, we sold
That's
out.
pretty insane.
My one 2 weeks prior to that was 250. Yeah. And that one we did sell out of. We could have had more, but the facility wanted to cap
Yeah.
it.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, I will say that. So there is a demand. I'm just curious to see like what's going to happen when we do go out of state.
Mhm.
And yeah, so we'll see. I do want to do like New York, Florida, a lot of demand for Florida, Austin, Arizona, Denver. Everyone's like, you got to do Denver. And I'm like, okay. So it's just a matter of like, okay, if I do go out of state, what does that look like? I don't know any of the DJs out of state, but we'll figure it out. We'll have some fun. Honestly, it's a lot of people are like, when are you going to DJ these events? And I'm like,
I was going to ask that. Yeah.
until I can get to a point where I'm comfortable enough, like mid events, like where I have like staff that's like around me that can
Yeah.
make the events running smoothly. That's when I'll be comfortable to go on stage and DJ for you guys. I will say it'll be a fun set.
Do you have like a baseline, like a playlist or something?
I've made like 50 of them, and they're just living in my Spotify right now.
I would love to share it with our listeners, just for them to get a little bit of a taste of what this is, maybe like an intro to EDM kind of a thing.
Okay, I could do that. So there's just so many different genres of EDM.
Yeah.
I'll do a wholesome one for you guys, just like easing into it. We'll do some John Summit, some Sophie Tucker vibes.
Sophie Tucker. I like Sophie Tucker. Yeah. Yeah.
They love pickleball.
No.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
Let me know. Let me know when
So,
they're.
there's actually quite a few bigger DJs that have reached out wanting to play my events. And I'm like, I'm so down, but you're expensive.
Yeah.
And I was like
Yeah.
hearing a lot of these DJ rates, and I'm like, honestly, I'm going to be a DJ at this point, because like how you get paid how much? It feels like pro pickleball contracts at times.
For real. Oh my gosh. I mean, at that
Yeah.
point, it's like a concert ticket price. Right?
I try and keep my tickets as accessible as possible.
Absolutely.
My gripe with Glow Pickleball companies is like, you're charging how much for
Mm.
a Glow Pickleball event? Like I've been seeing a few for like $65 for a ticket. I'm like, that's crazy. We already have to pay so much for like tournament fees,
Right.
clinics, court time.
Memberships.
Yeah, I'm like, how do I create these events that are like awesome, but also like don't break your bank?
Mm.
So usually like 25, 35, 45. like is where I'll be at. Like, but I'll do like a tiered system. So that way, if you really want to come, you have that option. But I have started doing this thing that if you are like in a financially tough spot, I just have them message me and I'll just send them a ticket. So
Mm.
That's awesome.
I don't want people to be like, I want to go to your event, but like I'm just seeing it now and like I can't afford to go because again the economy is like a mess right now.
Mm.
If I can do that, that's the joy of owning your own company. I'm like,
Yep.
I can do that. That's awesome. Some girl actually, she came for her birthday for my last event, which is crazy. First time playing pickleball too.
Wow.
What?
Yeah, she
Something
showed
new
up.
on your birthday. Very cool.
Yeah, gave her a paddle. She came to my clinic too in the morning. It was so cool. She's in her pickleball era now.
So let's manifest for a minute. Thinking towards the future. Let's go 6 years, just because we like the 6-year theme. If you could, wave a magic wand, where would Bassline be in 6 years?
I want to be at every major sporting event, but not domestically, like internationally. Like I want to do F1. I want to do Wimbledon. I want to do like the big ones, Super Bowl, and not just pickleball, but also like sports in general, or
Mm-hmm.
even just like collab like events. So my last event, oh, I forgot to add this. I did mahjong in pickleball, so it was like a mahjong and pickleball rave.
That's
That is
awesome.
such a common crossover that I'm seeing.
That
I
is a
didn't
common
know.
crossover.
Yeah. The
Yeah.
mahjong area was packed. There was like literally every time I went there, like every table, 10 people, like everywhere. Like I was like, this is so popular. Oh my
That is
gosh.
so
I will say there is one rave I'm throwing in July for my birthday, that I'm really excited for because it's not in a traditional pickleball facility and it's at a big chain and I cannot wait to announce it. It's going to be really, really exciting. And if it goes well, we can do it nationwide, they said. And then after that, I'm planning actually yesterday I'm meeting about golf and pickleball rave.
Yes, like
That's where
actual
Nikki will be.
outdoor, like yeah, exactly. No, seriously, that would absolutely be. Those are like two of
Yeah.
my favorite things.
So there's pickleball courts like right next to the driving range. And I looked at the driving range. I'm like, can I have the driving
Yep.
range too? And they're like, you want the driving range? I'm like, yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And they're
Glow
like,
golf.
well, it's something like that. Or we might even do like a Coachella style event. So I'm trying this new concept of like day parties too. Because a lot of these facilities do have noise ordinances, especially the outdoor ones.
Mhm.
So I'm like, how do I throw a massive day rager? But also, like, it can't be a traditional pickleball event where it's like a DJ pickleball. I'm like, how do I make this insane? So I'm like, we're bringing in water slides. So, which we are.
I'll do it.
You answered my question. You nailed it. Let's just say you nailed that. Yeah, 10 out of 10.
So we're doing water slides. We're doing a foam pit as well. And yeah, it's like we're gonna make it like a whole Coachella vibe, if you will. So again, like that's kind of like how my brain works is like, how do I take something existing and just make it like extra unhinged? Like if I could put a petting zoo in there, I totally would. Like an ethical
Yeah.
petting zoo, ethical.
Yeah. Mhm.
I really want just again to create like these unique experiences that haven't been done before in racket sports. And that's why have been talking to some people on the tennis side because they're like, what's like, if this is working for pickleball, what happens when you do put this in front of like F1 and stuff
Mm.
like that? So, because I'm like, ooh, we can do like little like go karts and stuff like that. It'd be so much fun.
Oh my god.
Oh, go-kart.
Oh my god. Sign me up. My next favorite thing. Oh my gosh, little
Go-karting.
go-karts.
I'm
Yes.
in for that too.
Yes.
Sydney, when is your next one for our listeners? If anyone listen to this and this is my dream, I want to go to a pickleball rave or any other rave, where can they find you?
So, follow Play Baseline on Instagram. I'll be announcing all our events on there. I do this every 2 weeks right now.
Okay.
Honestly, for my sanity, I don't know why I'm doing this to myself, but it is what it is. We're full sending. I guess my next rave, then, if we're at this point of the podcast, I'm going to be taking over Dave and Buster's.
My god. My fourth favorite thing.
Let's go.
I'm putting a pickleball court in Dave and Buster's.
That
You're
is
throwing a pickleball
so sick. That
In
is so
California?
appropriate.
Yeah, in Orange, and we are going to be doing EDM, and like there's an actual EDM stage, and then
Wow.
we're clearing all the tables out of this area. We're going to install pickleball courts directly next to it. We're going to have different stages. We're going to have cars. We're moving the arcade games out. We're going to have cars, and we're going to implement the human crane to put in like you can get pickleball paddles out of the human crane and stuff. When I work with companies, I'm like, let's full
Oh, you
send.
do it.
We're doing it.
Send. Yes.
Nikki,
Yeah.
we might have to go.
I think we have to do it. I think we have to make a 99% pickleball appearance. Maybe we yeah. I gotta get some rave clothes.
I don't know. It's the
I'll find
neon,
something. Yeah, I'm
neon,
sure we
all the
have
vibes.
something.
Get some
Yeah.
neon. Sydney, before we start to wrap up, I just want to know, what is your goal ultimately? Like, why pickleball? I mean, obviously, you clearly love pickleball, but why merge these two worlds? What impact are you trying to make on the pickleball world?
I'm trying to grow the sport through EDM. And again, like, how do you get new people to try a sport? I feel like with this company, I'm able to remove that intimidation that is showing up to a pickleball court for the first time, not knowing how to play. Like, again, like the current process is you want to learn pickleball. Okay, you find pickleball courts. You go there, there's a paddle system, you're like veteran pickleball players that are there. And no one wants to teach a beginner like at the very first time. They're there to play. So this automatically now just kind of removes that intimidation, where you just come to the events, you have a paddle, and everyone's missing the ball because it's glow in the dark. So like it's impossible to make a fool out of yourself when it's like the bar is set so low. And from there, again, it's like you're having fun, you're making new friends. It's a spectacle. You want to go see the spectacle, but also like you want to try a sport at the same time. So that's what my goal is with Bassline Sports, is to get people to try new sports for the first time. So I'm even doing this with paddle in the coming future as well, and tennis, just so I can get people to try racket sports for the first time. And hopefully, again, maybe even like, I don't know, golf, soccer, yeah, expand into different areas. But I'm going to need to like work with coaches in those realms. But in the meantime, I'm having fun with it. So
Very cool.
That's amazing. This is it's such a cool thing to watch. This is just the beginning, and yeah, we'll check back in, and let's set an alarm to check back in 6 years and see Wimbledon. Let's see F1. All of that will already be done. That's
Oh,
gonna be
I was
amazing.
already trying to pull the trigger on Wimbledon this year, but it was
Oh,
unfortunately, it
little
was
quick.
like it's
You're
not
like,
a lot.
Wimbledon. I can plan this in 2 weeks. It's fine.
Mhm.
Okay, I was gonna call it Wimbledon, like because in like dubstep is like like wub. So
Uh,
it's my bad.
I did
Cringe.
not know that. That's hilarious.
But
Well, since we're going off topic of pickleball for a minute, what we do, if you're not familiar yet, obviously this podcast is called 99% Pickleball because we're talking about 99% of the pickleball world, not as much the 1% of the pros. Of course, we talk about everybody. But we also want to include 99% of this podcast talking about pickleball and 1% talking about anything else. Since you're calling Queen, right? We're going to call everyone Queen. Mari is actually the queen of non-pickleball related questions. So, Mari, what's your question that you have lined up for Sydney?
I analyzed you throughout this entire conversation to figure out exactly what I wanted to ask. And it only seems fitting that I need to ask you a music question because it seems like you're very passionate about that outside of the pickleball world. So, if you could get a private concert with anyone, any artist ever, it can be EDM, it can be just a singer, whatever you want, who would it be?
that's crazy. There's so many good artists out there.
You only get one. Just for today. Maybe tomorrow you'll get another one. But for my question today, you only get one.
Okay, you know what? I'm gonna say Sophie Tucker actually.
Okay.
Ooh.
Yeah, that was my
That
first.
might be kind of possible.
I was like, that's kind of like too real.
Doable.
Honestly, at this point, like of my life, yeah, I keep on finding myself in this, like, how am I here situation. But yeah, totally possible. Like, they were my first EDM show, and
Oh, nice.
I think that's the reason why, like, I fell in love with like EDM so much. And I also just like their music is just such a vibe. It's just my mom loves it. She's like, when are you
No.
gonna get Sophie Tucker to play at your raves? I'm like, oh my gosh. Oh yeah, I always tell people, I'm like, if my mom is at my raves, you know that they can't be bad. My mom literally comes to my events and she's having the time of her life. It's funny because like one time someone was passing out little like ducks during, like they were like different colored ducks, like very, very small. And because that's what you do in EDM, you pass out like different trinkets to each other. Someone gave her one and she was like, is this drugs? Is this drugs? And she was like, I'm gonna have you thrown out. And they're like, no, 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 no.
It's just a duck. Just a duck.
She was like,
It's just a little gift.
and I was like, see, I'm like, it's fine. I have a Mexican mom. She's fine. She's my head of security at these events. So,
She's on it.
Love that.
On it. Oh my gosh, that's amazing.
All right.
Yeah.
Sophie Tucker private concert. Hopefully in your near future.
yeah, definitely. Hopefully, again, we'll see. I don't know why I'm not thinking of like an actual like, mainstream artist that isn't EDM, but like I think that's because all my
I think your brain,
That's a
I think we know
fair-
where your brain is.
Fair
Yeah.
answer.
I do have an appreciation though for instruments though, and like what goes into an actual like I guess show with
Mhm.
artists. So yeah. But anyway, you guys, this was fun. Thank you for like
This-
letting me talk about all this, and hopefully I get to have you guys at a rave soon.
We'll be there with Sophie Tucker.
Yeah, we'll
Yeah?
bring her.
Yeah.
Mari, how long are you in Brazil for?
For another week. I'll be back soon. We're kind of back and forth. MLP season is going on right now, so I will be back for some MLP events.
Well, Sydney,
Yes.
thank you so much for joining us. We're just loving watching the boom happen and just this, the evolution of Bassline. And definitely hit us up when you're coming to New York, Florida. We'll be there. 99% Pickleball. Count us in. We will absolutely be there. So thank you.
Yeah. And congratulations on everything you've done so far on not just the Bassline stuff, but just your pickleball journey. It's been pretty cool to see. Obviously, met you back in the day, and it's awesome to see growth and see different initiatives coming about from the sport that we all love. So congrats and keep it going because I will be attending a rave eventually. Count me in.
I would love to have that, honestly. I just want to be able to tell people this is an actual pro. I promise it's not. This is what a pro is because it's crazy. They think like a 4.0 is like a pro. They're like, wow, they're so good. And I'm like, no, you haven't seen nothing yet. So
in glow in the dark, I might be a 4.0. So, maybe
there
I'm
should
not
be
a pro in glow in the dark.
The great equalizer, glow in the dark.
Yeah,
I
exactly.
do want to have a blacklight super. I think that'd be
Wow.
so sick.
All right, Tito. Come on, Tito, get on that blacklight duper.
How do you play under black? I've seen some players like go off in blacklight, and then others are just like, I will say, I whiff the ball like all the time. But
I've tried it, and I wasn't impressive. So no
problem. Maybe it's a laser. You can play it on the lasers. Like are the lasers considered a hindrance?
Yes.
Probably.
No. I don't know.
I'm gonna take a swing at that and say probably yes. Yeah, I think that can't.
Probably.
That can't. Yeah.
Literally, the lasers like right above, and you're like, oh. Okay, that's cool.
Yeah. I think when someone's playing pickleball in the court next to me, that's a hindrance. So if there's lasers going around, my eyes are just not focused at all for sure. But it's a great time. But it's a good time.
Yeah.
Definitely a good time.
Okay, well, I'll catch y'all on the road. Y'all are legends. Thank you for creating this podcast, by the way. I love that you guys are talking about the 99% of things that don't happen or talked about in pickleball. Because again, so many people are doing amazing things for the sport, and everyone has I've met so many amazing communities along the way. And it's cool to see them getting recognition. So shout out to you guys.
Thank you.
Thank
we
you.
We even accidentally matched this time. So let's go, Nikki. We're fully aligned at this point.
We are, on the same wavelength. Let's go.
Absolutely.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Sydney.
Thank you, Sydney.
Bye.
Nikki,
Man.
I think I'm ready to get some black lights and some glow going right here, right now. Yeah, come on.
Right. Yeah. I didn't know about what did you call it? The web or something? That was
the web something.
The
web I feel like
thing.
I learned some stuff today.
Yeah, I'm like, man, I got to learn some things. But wow, that was so much fun. Can we change our podcast music for one episode to be like EDM music just for
That'd
this
be
one
pretty
episode?
Cool, actually. Get some Sophie Tucker in here for us.
Seriously, that would be so cool. Man, that was such a fun episode. I have known her for a little bit and I just learned so much about her. And I just appreciate how open and vulnerable and she's just sharing her story and she's just cool with this talking about everything. And I think so many people can really benefit from that story. And wow, what a journey. My God. Wait, hold on. Before we dive into that, what was your answer? What concert are you?
I think if I could have just like it's just me, I think I want Adele singing to me.
That's also possible too, I'm sure. I feel like that could be a thing. Yeah.
I think that's
what if
less
Adele plays pickleball?
Than Sophie
What if
Tucker?
Adele plays
but,
pickleball?
If I could just sit here and just like Adele's just singing to me, like I think it'd be a great time.
Wow.
Who would yours be?
I was going to clarify. Is it like a dead or alive thing or is it like
Sure.
Really? Okay. Then, I realized, by the way, that I haven't stopped talking about the Spice Girls on this podcast since we released it. So I'm not going to go. So I'm not going to go with them. But I was like, oh my gosh, I have to stop mentioning them. It's actually not them, believe it or not, because I've seen them before. It's Amy Winehouse.
Okay. That would be a really good one too.
Yeah.
That's a great answer.
I never got to see her live and I was supposed to see her live when I was in London and for my birthday and I ended up going to see Spam-A-Lot. I saw Spam-A-Lot with my aunt, which was fantastic. It was a good show, but I did that because I thought, I can see Amy Winehouse anytime. When I was working in London, I actually walked past her in Camden where she was carrying her own laundry. She was going to the laundromat and she had her big beehive and she had her tiny little woman with this gigantic laundry bag and then this huge beehive on her head. And she walked right past me and I almost passed out because I'm such a big fan. But yeah, she would absolutely be my concert. Right. Yeah.
I like that. Okay. Back to our takeaways. Now that
back to our takeaway. What was your main takeaway?
I just really like what she's doing it's a whole new audience for pickleball, right? It's people that are into raves or that actually just are looking to do something different. I like that it's a younger age range because I think typically the people that are starting to play pickleball are a little bit in the older age range or
Yep.
kids. That's what I see. There's a
Yep.
gap right in the middle. So I think it's probably 25 to 35, I think is her biggest age range there. So I think that's really cool. It's a really great way to get more people into it. And it's just cool to hear someone's story, right? Someone that's been this involved with pickleball for this long, especially the newbie. Yeah, I just enjoyed listening to all of that. I think I would enjoy an event. So if there's one near
Yeah.
me, I'll be there.
You can and you will. You will absolutely be there. I'm sure both of us will be there one of these. No, I totally agree with those takeaways. I mean, I obviously talk a lot about the direction that pickleball is heading in, and we're facing a very toxic fork in the road. And I want to just get us back on track, pick the right path. And I think that Bassline is going to help us do that. I think this is one of those means to continue pickleball on the right path of just being a fun game, lighthearted, really positive, and can still be competitive, but can also be really, really uplifting in that way and building community. So I think Bassline's directly that. Also, another takeaway was I didn't know she was such a big content creator before pickleball. I didn't realize that she got on that TikTok wave real early.
Yeah, I didn't know either. When I came into pickleball, she was already doing content creation in pickle. So that's kind of how I saw her. And then she was working for MLP at the time. So I met her. Pretty cool to hear that. Obviously, a lot of these content creators did content creation before, right? This is my first go at it, Nikki.
Doing
Yours
pretty good.
too?
Doing pretty good. Yes. Technically, I did some stuff before that was political, but we won't get into that. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's keep it. Yeah, it was just pickleball because I was not in a good place. But anyways, this is definitely my first real venture. But seeing that she had a true career essentially before that of actual influencing social media, like no wonder she knows that. No wonder she doesn't even need a marketing team because she's got this thing
Yeah.
down.
Pretty
Girl
crazy.
got it down.
No
Yeah.
marketing for now, right? I mean,
That's goals. Oh my gosh. But yeah, lots to learn from Sydney and more to come. She's just getting started. So that's very, very cool to see, even though she's been around for a long time. Woo, what a good one. Well, Mari,
Another
that
good
about
one.
does it for this episode. But guess what? You can catch us every Thursday for the
got
period
the
of our
day
season.
right, Nikki. I'm so proud.
Thursday. Yes, every Thursday.
Every
And
week.
where can you catch us?
Everywhere.
Everywhere.
You can catch us everywhere. Any streaming service that does podcasts, we're probably there. Now,
Yeah.
ask me to name them. I can't. But
You can name a
you
couple.
can look them up. That's what
Spotify,
Google's for.
Apple, YouTube. We'll make it easy for you. We'll put some links in there. Check us.
We'll put
You
some
can also
links in
find
there.
us. Just find us on Instagram, 99 Pickleball. Remember, there's no percentage because of Instagram. It's weird. Yeah.
There's been a lot of episodes before this. If you just listened to our first episode, go back and watch the other ones.
There you
some pretty
go.
good ones before too.
Say
I'm
so.
sure you loved listening to our voices. You love our banter. So go check them out. Yeah, and
Go check 'em out.
Thank you for listening.
Absolutely. And we will see you next week.